don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting on you, Lord. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting.
And I promise you, I'm gonna sit down. Amen. And the scripture that God gave me was Psalms 27, verse 14.
All right, now.
And it reads, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. And my topic would be, I don't mind waiting.
All right, now.
Amen. You know, they touched up, all three of us supposed to get together and kind of like study up on this stuff for today. But God said, because anything God got clean, it's going to coordinate together.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what happened today, because they were all out there, oh God, they got in it. But to God be the glory. I don't mind waiting on God. And I'm going to just use two examples. You know, the first thing people say, God, you know, especially if you're single, you know, you want a good man and, you know, a good mate and, you know, a provider and this, that, and the other. And you go to God, so God, I want a soulmate. You know, I mean, send me somebody that's going to love me for me. First of all, love you.
That's right.
And get your mind off, because I can talk about it.
Go ahead.
I was one of those. God, but when? And how long?
Go ahead.
You know, and I made a lot of mistakes.
Go ahead.
I tried a lot of relationships, and I didn't do things that I know that was right. You know what I'm saying? I know what was right, but didn't do what was right.
Right, that's right.
Amen. To God be the glory. And then when God, it's something about God. I don't care how much you come to me and tell me you ought not to do this and you ought not to do that. It ain't. I'm taking it in, but it really ain't affect me yet. It ain't got to me yet. But it's something about God. That's right. When God deals with the heart of man, it does something to you. God said one statement to me, and it like literally messed up my day. And he said, how can you preach it if you can't hear it? Hold me up from the floor up, what? From the head up to something, from the something. But anyhow, it told me up. It told me, they stay with me, I'm a blessing. Amen. To God get the glory. But and when I told God, I made up. It takes a mind that's made up and a heart that spits. And when you say, God, no, I want to be real. I want to be all that you would have me to be. That's when things will fall in place. Every prayer that you pray is answered. It's either yes, it's either no, it's either wait. But a lot of our problem is we don't want to wait. We want it like a microwave, quick, fast, and a hurry, and you get messed up like that. I'm just used for example, and I hope nobody name me here ain't Peter. That's what I'm gonna use. Okay, Lord, Brother Peter come to church, and God, he just all into you, and you know, we feeling each other, and God, I done pray, and God, I just know he's the one for me. And all the time God's saying, he's not. And it ain't what you want to hear. And somebody else will come to you and say, yeah, I can see y'all together. You know, I mean, y'all a good couple, but all along God told you no. But because somebody said, but this must be of God. No, this is of your flesh, because that's what you want to hear. So God, this is what God will do with his good self. He'll say, all right, go ahead. And then you and Brother Peter get up together, and y'all get married, and y'all word pastor and apostle, marry us, you know, because I couldn't sleep, and you know, we're gonna make it, and God told me I can have her, and all the time God done dealt with the leaders. See, he done dealt with them. Said I said no, but they want it so bad. I'm gonna let them have it. You get married to Brother Peter, and it's going good on that honeymoon. It's going good.
Go ahead on, sister.
You know what I'm saying? But next next week, 2 weeks, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks. I'm gonna give you 2 weeks. It might be before 2 weeks. Lord, I didn't see all of this. I thought he was making the money, and you don't know what he was doing to get the money. Oh, you saw him coming to church. Let me tell you something. Satan come to church every Sunday.
Right now. Right now.
He spoke about the weakest thing that he thinks that's weak. You done got up, gave your testimony. I'm going through this, and I'm going through that. And he's sitting back, stacking it out.
Oh.
And then he get up with a hot shot talk. You shaking. You shaking. Oh my God. You don't feel nothing but air conditioning. Nothing. And God will tell you all along, don't mess with Peter.
Okay.
He told you all along, don't do it. Because you want it so bad. Hey.
Go ahead, sister.
Heaven said, I'm telling them in my face. I'm a married. You married. I love him. And God said, I'm going to show you how much he loves you. Go ahead. Girl, how do you know that? I did. That's how I know. God said, go ahead. Then you found out that Peter ain't what he said he is. He started creeping. Your hair, you wearing Pastor Amy and Apostle, and you know they can't turn you away. They got to listen. But they said, God, no, you should have just waited. And then she said to him, hey, baby, what we gonna do? I guess we just pray for me. And God said, God's gonna deliver you. That's right. He's gonna deliver you now. But you got to be tall less.
Yep.
Because you wanted it so bad. And you thought the grass was greener. And you thought he was so holy. That's why you need to check yourself. And see where you at with God. And ask God for the discernment of the Spirit so you can see what's going on.
That's right.
Everything that look holy, shake, speaking of tongues. Anybody can speak in the tongues. Go to school. You can run to go to school. What did I say? God talking to me. He said, I ain't talking about Brother Honda. I'm not Honda. God ain't coming back in no Honda. He said he's coming back on the cloud. Okay. And those of y'all that are married, you know what you got before you get married.
That's right.
You already know. You won't work before you got married.
See?
Why you want to work now?
So, they don't trade nothing but the last name. Y'all married. Because I want to be saved now. I want, when we go to, I want things to be right. And I won't be in sin.
Uh-oh.
But guess what? If you want to be kept, you can be kept.
That's right.
And I hope you don't base it on that 3 little letter word.
Jesus.
I hope you don't base it on it. Because if you base it on that, you really ain't got nothing no way.
That's right now.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So when a well drive up, Bob over there somewhere else. I'm trying to tell you, I'm keeping it real with you. And you say, but God, let them find a job, let them do this, let them do that. You weren't praying before you got married.
See?
You weren't complaining. So why are you complaining now? You got it. What you need to do is just say, God, I'm going to pray and I'm going to be humble and I'm going to just keep on doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to be a good wife. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And everything else will fall in place. But each time that you prayed to God, there was always an answer. Yes, no, wait. Everybody loves that yes. When you go to God. And God, if I go to God about something and he tell me yes, oh, I love it.
That's right.
When he tell me no, I got a problem.
That's it. That's right.
Sometimes no is good.
That's right.
Because God sees further than you see.
That's right.
You see what the natural eye see, but God said, I see further. I see this man is a rapist. I see this man is a beater. I see this man is a child molester. I see it all. But this is what you want.
Oh my God.
It's just like our parents. When our children were us, we'll say, go ahead, give it to him. And then they'd come back and say, I said, Mom, sorry, or I shouldn't have done that. But God the same way about us. We got to go right back to him. And that's why I'm going to share my testimony. And it's just sum up, because if I share it all, God knows we'll be here all day. But I'm going to just share what God has put in my spirit this year. Same way. The warning sign was always there. Can't nobody tell me there's no warning sign.
That's right.
The warning sign is always there.
Right now.
But we choose to ignore it because it's something that we want.
Right now.
And same way went to God, and I said, I got to have them. These my children fatherhood. Just because you got a baby by somebody don't mean that's your husband
All right,
or that's your wife.
Okay.
That don't necessarily mean that. You know what I'm saying? And I was married, and I never forget, I was working at McDonald's back in '93. I was working at McDonald's, and they weren't giving me no hours. And we had to go somewhere and sing at a church function. And my cousin said, Trisha, sing Jesus Will Work It Out. I said, I don't want to sing that. Let's sing something else. She said, no, sing it. So I sung Jesus Will Work It Out. Didn't know it was a manager from McDonald's there in the crowd. And she came to me after everything was over, she came to me and she said, girl, you sung that song. I said, if I known you were here, I wouldn't have sung it. That's what I said to her. She said, well, you sung it, and you're going to be getting a phone call. Lo and behold, about 11 o'clock that night, I got a phone call. They had gave me more hours, and I sung the song, Jesus Will Work It Out. If I didn't sing it, I would have missed out on the blessing. Just something that simple. We let the little stuff just slide by because we think it ain't nothing. And all the time, God saying it's a blessing in it. Amen. And they called, McDonald's called me, I'll never forget. And I got the phone, and I was like, y'all know Popeye, the cartoon character. And his girlfriend, Oliver, I was just like Oliver. I was up and down. I had a curve, I had nothing. Looking at me today, you won't. But I didn't have nothing. I was just skin and bones, straight skin and bones. And one of my aunts told my mama, take your daughter back and feed her, because she looked like she died. That's how bad I looked. But anyhow, make the long story short, I got back in bed and I was propped just like this, and I was watching TV from my blind spot, and it's a blind spot because I didn't see it coming. My husband took his fist and bust me in my face. When his hand came off my nose, my face was sitting up to here. I jumped up and I dialed 911. The phone rung, he snatched the phone out of the wall. I know that phone stayed on the wall 45 to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, it stayed out of socket. And I never forget it. And all along, the devil kept saying, you're going to die. You're going to die. And I could feel my face just getting tighter and tighter. And it done one blood clot, like a piece of meat, came out of my nose. And it just didn't bleed no more. It just started swelling. Well, he kept following me around. I was out of it in a way, but in a way, I still had some sense of what was going on. And it was like the Spirit was saying, because I was going from room to room, because he was following me, and it's like the Spirit was saying, sit down and calm yourself. I got it. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of that, he plugs the phone back up in the wall. The phone is ringing. He answered the phone. It's 911. They traced that call just like that. That phone run to 911. It was traced just like that. And he answered the phone, and you know, you can't hear what the other person is saying on the other line, but you can hear what that person is saying. He was telling them everything was okay. And I'm saying in my head, oh yeah, I'm dying tonight. Because I was in pain. I could just feel, you know, my face started, and it was out to here. I mean, it had swollen that I had black eyes. My eyes looked like somebody had punched me in my eyes. It was bloodshot red. And they asked to speak to me. And you talking about a scary feeling. I can't even explain it. When they spoke to me, it was this dude, and he said, "Ma'am," he said, "I don't want you to volunteer no information. I want you to keep it yes and no." He said, "Are you hurt?" I said, "Yes, I'm fine." There you go. You know what I'm saying? I said, "Yes, I'm fine." He said, "Ma'am, do he got any weapons?" I said, "No, one of them boys must have dialed 911. Hey! I was saying, what's that song? Get me out, Jesus! Get me out today! You know what I'm saying? So, and then he was like, "Do you need medical assistance?" I said, "Yes, I will talk to the boys, and I will tell them 911 is very important and they can't play on the phone." He said, "Ma'am, whatever you do, this the big part." He said, "I got 2 policemen standing at your door right now." He said, "But I'm not going to give them the okay until I know you are right and you're ready." He said, "I don't care how you do it, I need you to play it off." He said, "Do not hang up the phone, but lay the phone down." So, okay. He said, "You ready?" I said, "Okay." You know, I'm in this question. I'm already. You know what I'm saying? Took a deep breath. And then I said, "Okay." And they ain't on that door. I said, "Oh my God." And the door is right here. Right? It's like that door across the street. And I'm walking. And girl, my leg did like that. I said, "Lord, the neighbors must be coming over here because it's so much closer." I know, but what?
Right.
I just want to make it on the other side of the door. Because he was looking at me like, I double dare you say something. And that's how but see, I asked for it. And I wanted it. And all along, God was telling me no. But it was something that I want. And I paid a price. It almost cost me my life. He broke my nose. My nose was shattered. I done had 3 surgeries since this incident happened. And the last surgery, I had a setback. But I had to be rushed back because I done got dehydrated and I can't keep nothing down. Everything that I would take in would come back up. So I had a setback, and they moving bones because on one side of my nose, I have like a peep hole of an airway where they had to take some of the bones and like remove some of my bones because it was shattered. They said, "What did he hit you with?" I said, "His fist." And it broke from one end to the other end, and it just shattered that big bone right there. And the doctors told me when I went to the hospital, and he walked in the room. He said, "What happened?" I began to tell him what had happened to me. He said, he just slammed his notebook down, and he walked down the room. Tears were rolling. I couldn't taste, couldn't smell, do nothing. Rolling from my face. And when he came back in the room, he said, at that time was Edwards, he said, "Your nose is broke, and it's supposed to have knocked you out. We don't understand why it didn't knock you out. I did. God, if it knocked me out, I'd probably be dead because he wasn't going to go get me no help." So, instead of the bone going straight up, because it would have killed me instantly, because God shifted the bone and it broke sideways. Because, let me tell you something, the devil don't love you. Sometimes, but God tell you no all the time, it means a positive thing, because he sees further than you. Sometimes he'll say, "Wait, that don't mean you ain't going to get it. You might need some work, and he might need some work." Right. And if you let God do it, let God season the both of you, then that's when things will come together smoothly. And then your answer might be yes. Sometimes he says, you know, sometimes it's no, wait, or no. But in everything you do, don't mind waiting on God, because every day he'll strengthen your heart if you wait on him. God bless you.
They that wait upon the Lord, He shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not